2024 is almost done and we're about to step into 2025. So I want to share with you 5 tips that you need to know if you plan to stay sharp and productive for the rest of the year and into the new year as a music producer. Now, I'll not be wasting your time. We're getting straight into it. But first, hit the like button and subscribe because I'll be sharing more tips and tricks with you on this channel. So the very first tip that you need to know as a music producer or as a musician if you plan to stay sharp throughout the rest of 2024 and into the next year, 2025, is you need to learn how to embrace AI tools. Now, we'll be hearing of artificial intelligence, and this is here to stay, guys. Like, there's no way around it. Almost every software, almost every platform is incorporating artificial intelligence into them as we speak right now. So you cannot keep fighting AI. That's if you're already fighting AI. Instead, you need to learn how to incorporate it into your process, whether you're a musician, whether you write lyrics, whether you write music, whether you produce beats, you mix, you master. You need to learn how to incorporate AI into your process. Now, AI is here to make your work easy, just like using sample packs, using loops, using software and hardware. AI is just a tool, okay? It's meant to help you become more productive, efficient, okay? So it's here to help. It's not the enemy, it's not the competitor, it's here to help. And here are 4 tools that I typically use, 4 AI tools that I typically use as a music producer to become, more productive and more efficient at delivering high quality jobs for my clients. The very first tip is the stem separation feature in FL Studio. The reason why I use this is that it helps me take a deep dive into the arrangement of songs that I really like. It lets me learn how the drums was arranged, how the music, the melody, the vocals, and everything was arranged, so I can learn more and incorporate it into my own process. Okay. The second one that I use is the mix assistant in Isotope Neutron. Now, this is my go-to for delivering really quick mix demos for clients. Like, they just finished recording them and they want to hear how the mix sounds, just the rough mix. I use Isotope Neutron Mix Assistant to just, quickly deliver the job, and, it gets it sounding good for just, demo purposes for my clients, okay? And the third that I use is the chord detection tool in Chordify. Now, Chordify is a platform that you can use to learn how to enhance your music playing abilities, especially if you play the guitar or you play piano. Now, what I simply do is if I hear a melody that I like, maybe a melody loop, or I hear a song that I like and I like the chord progression, I want to learn it, I simply upload it to Chordify and it tells me the chord progression and the key of that song, and I simply learn it and incorporate it into my own process. So I just learn it and become more proficient in creating chords and listening out for good ideas. And the fourth tool I use is Clear. Clear is an AI software that I use to clean up my vocal recordings to make sure there are no noise or background ambient sound in my recordings. It makes it sound really clean and polished, ready for mix processing, without leaving that artifact sounds that you hear with most noise removal plugins. It works really well that it's almost unbelievable that this vocal had noise before. It's so efficient, and I've made tutorials on this before. It's a very efficient and affordable plugin that I use to clean up noise in my vocal recordings. Now, there are a lot more that I use as a music producer, but these are my go-to. These are my top 4 AI tools that I use. There are a lot more that I use, but these are the ones that every day, anytime I'm making music, I open at least one of these 4. Okay. So the second tip that you need to know if you plan to stay productive and efficient in 2024 and even into 2025 as a musician or as a music producer is understanding how Dolby Atmos or spatial audio works. Now, we've been hearing of Dolby Atmos for a while now, especially for movies, right? But now it's made its way over the last couple of years into music. And if you open a lot of streaming platforms these days, they do have, where you can stream in Dolby Atmos. And the reason why you even need to take this more seriously now is a lot of headphone manufacturers and speaker manufacturers are including Dolby Atmos compatibility. That means they can stream or listen to audio in Dolby Atmos format, which is more immersive than stereo format. So you don't need to blow a lot of money and set up a full Dolby Atmos rig, unless if you have the budget, and the enthusiasm and the patience to do that. Sure, you can. But if you're just starting out and you want to, get yourself into Dolby Atmos, I do recommend you get the Dolby Atmos Room Renderer plugin. You can just simply install it on your PC and link it to your digital audio workstation. It works with most digital audio workstations. There are some other plugins that you need to get. There are a lot of tutorials, courses on this that you can get to learn how Dolby Atmos can work in your DAW, okay? It's really helpful you learn, it's important if you can learn this so you can create your own songs, your tracks, your projects to be compatible with Dolby Atmos. Now, the third tip that you need to know going into 2025 as a music producer, if you plan to be more productive and efficient, is knowing how to use cloud-based software. Now, I know you're typically used to, having a guitarist or a melody person or, a drummer right next to you in the studio. But now we can actually collaborate, on the cloud using platforms like Zoom and other services that, offer similar features, because I can edit, I can arrange, I can even direct and demonstrate through Zoom. And the audio quality is so high, it's very high that you can actually hear the quality of the mix through your own speakers without me being there. Okay. So if you have your own studio set up and maybe you want me to play guitars for you, we can simply hop on a quick Zoom meeting, or other platforms offer similar functions. Hop on a quick Zoom meeting, I watch your screen, you play some ideas, I can let you know if the idea is good or not, or if I want something else. So I could come in to your screen and cut it up and rearrange and apply effects, and then you just send the audio over to me. And I can even leave notes at certain points of the meeting to let you and others know what happened and what would like to get changed in the project. So it's very important you get used to using cloud-based services. Even aside, collaboration, it could be just managing a song, right? Maybe you have multiple mixing engineers that could leave comments on certain parts of the song, or maybe you have songwriters that could leave comments on certain parts of the song. Just collaborating in real time on a song without being there in one space. Now, the fourth tip, which is the biggest elephant in the room, and I'm definitely going to address it, is investing in software. Now, a lot of people still think pirating softwares is the way to go, and I'll tell you why that ended in 2020. Now, if you notice, a lot of software vendors or manufacturers have been releasing updates to their software that require internet to perform properly. Now, you may get some software still cracked, but you won't get the full functionality. For example, if you use FL Studio, right? If you use FL Studio, there are some softwares like the cloud mastering, and sometimes the AI separation tool doesn't work for some cracked users. But if you pay for the full premium version, you have access to all of this, at no extra cost. So, and this applies to many other plugins and softwares where you get, almost nothing, almost no new updates if you do not pay for, the software. So using cracked softwares has ended a long time ago. I do recommend you pay for the software you use. And the good thing with, modern day software payment plans is that they are quite affordable. You don't need to pay for most software, you don't need to pay the hundreds or thousands of dollars anymore. They do offer monthly payment plans. And I'll tell you why I prefer monthly payment plans over perpetual licenses. Now, the first reason is updates. With subscriptions, I do have, as long as they keep releasing updates, I don't have to pay extra to get the updates. I keep getting updates for a relatively low cost, because most softwares cost about $10 to $30 monthly, right, to pay for. And the second reason why I like it is, if you do not need the plugin anymore, you can simply just pause your payments plan or deactivate your payments, right? Think about it. There's some softwares you've had for some time that after that first few weeks of being excited about it, you never went back to it. I'm sure you have loads of plugins on your plugin list that you've never gone back to for almost a year, or at least, if not longer, right? So with subscriptions, you can simply just pause the softwares or cancel your subscription to the softwares that you no longer need, and it keeps you organized, knowing what softwares are your go-to. And now the fifth tip, which is the last but not the least, definitely not the least tip, is staying updated with trends. Now, I know you're unique, you're one of one, nobody's like you, and you want to do what nobody has ever done, but humans need to hear some level of familiarity in anything unique you're trying to do, because think about it, nothing says familiarity like trends, right? There's a reason why it's trending, because it's very familiar to a lot of people, right? So following the trend doesn't make you less creative or make you, one of them, right? You can instead take a trend and say you can incorporate it to your own unique process to make it even more interesting and appealing to a wider audience, okay? Now, it could be writing style, it could be a sound that is trending on social media, it could even be a popular street slang, and adding one or more of these elements makes your music or your production more familiar to a wider audience. I mean, unless you're making music for yourself and yourself alone, maybe your family members, I'm sure you want, a wider audience to appreciate your song, your production, your mixes, right? So it could be, so many ways you can incorporate familiar elements or trends into your process, okay? You just have to think which you are more comfortable with and start from there before, you advance into more ways or more styles, okay? Now, there are many more tips I'd like to share with you, but I don't want the video to be too long. So I want you to hit the like button and subscribe for more tutorials, tips, and tricks, so you can also be getting updates from me often on YouTube, okay? So if you found this helpful, like and subscribe once again, and let me know in the comments which of these tips resonates most with you. And if you also have more tips to share to help us out, into the new year, Let us know in the comments so that we can be prepared and we can keep being productive. Let's help each other out, guys. All right. See you soon.